They didn't uninvite me from Thanksgiving because there wasn't enough food. They uninvited me because there wasn't enough room for the truth. Last year, I embarrassed my perfect older sister in front of everyone. This year, my parents sent a group text saying Thanksgiving was just for immediate family, and somehow I didn't qualify. I thought I'd spend the holiday alone until my sister's boyfriend called me the night before and said 8 quiet, careful words that absolutely permanently changed everything. If you're interested in this gist, hit the like button, subscribe, and type interested in the comments, and I will give you a heart. If you've never been uninvited from a family holiday, let me explain how it feels. Imagine getting a group text where everyone is tagged except the family dog, and by the time you finish reading it, you realize you're somehow the extra, not the daughter. That was me, standing in my tiny apartment kitchen on a Tuesday night, staring at my phone while a pot of instant ramen tried to boil over. The message was from my mom. "Hey everyone! After talking it over, Dad and I decided this Thanksgiving is going to be small and stress-free, just immediate family this year." Immediate family. I read it twice, then looked at the names above the message. Dad, Mom, my sister, Avery, her boyfriend, Tyler. Even my grandmother, who doesn't know how to text and still thinks Bluetooth is a dental condition. And then me, technically. So, I've been demoted to what? I muttered, background character? A second text followed, this time just to me, as if my mom suddenly remembered public humiliation wasn't subtle enough. "Sweetheart, we figured you wouldn't mind sitting this one out after everything last year. We really don't want another scene, you understand, right?" Oh yes, last year. The great Thanksgiving incident, the one where Hallie, the younger daughter who was supposed to shut up and go along, did the unthinkable. She told the truth. I could still see it perfectly. The long table, the turkey, the wine, Avery's perfect blowout, the way our parents stared at her like she personally cured world hunger because she'd made it into a competitive residency program. Halfway through dinner, Dad had clinked his glass and announced, "We are so proud of our Avery for being the first doctor in the family," which was funny since I was sitting right there in my scrubs, fresh off a 12-hour shift from the same hospital in the same program. The only difference? She was their chosen daughter. I was the one who refused to laugh when they made jokes about snowflakes and cancel culture, so clearly my degree didn't count. I didn't even plan to say anything that night. I was tired, emotionally hungover, and honestly just wanted mashed potatoes. But Avery had looked at me with that smug, glittering smile and said, loud enough for everyone to hear, "Don't worry, Hal. Once I'm established, maybe I can help you find something in nursing." It wasn't the words that did it. It was the tone. The sweet, sticky pity. The unspoken reminder that in our family, I was always a step behind, always the backup, always the one who should be grateful just to be in the photo. So I'd smiled back and said calmly, "Avery, we're literally in the same residency, same hospital, same year. The only difference is I didn't have Mom and Dad calling the program director every week to check in." The room had gone silent. My aunt choked on her stuffing. Grandma pretended she'd lost her hearing. Dad's smile fell so fast it could have broken the floor. Avery's perfect face flushed red, then white. "That's not true," she'd snapped, voice shaking. But it was. I knew it. The program knew it. Everyone at the table knew it, even if they didn't want to admit it. Mom had jumped in, furious, but still trying to keep her company voice. "Hallie, that is completely inappropriate. You're embarrassing your sister." I'd shrugged. Guess I learned from the best. And just like that, I became the problem. They didn't talk about how they'd pulled strings to get Avery favorable rotations. They didn't mention the time Dad called my attending to complain that using Hallie as a scut monkey is a waste of her potential, which somehow made my next month even worse. No. The real crime was that I'd punctured the family illusion at the dinner table. So now, a year later, my punishment had arrived, dressed up as less stress. I put the phone down, turned off the stove, and stared at my reflection in the microwave door. I should have been angry. Instead, I just felt tired. Tired in the bones, in the way people do when they've rehearsed every argument in their head and know exactly how it ends, with them being told they're dramatic. My phone buzzed again. This time, it wasn't my mother. It was Tyler, my sister's boyfriend. "Hey, Hallie, can we talk sometime tonight? It's about Thanksgiving." I frowned. Tyler and I weren't close, but we weren't enemies either. He was the only one at the table last year who didn't look away when I called out the favoritism. I remember catching his eye as Mom dragged Avery into the kitchen to calm her down, and he'd looked thoughtful. Not angry. Not loyal. Just awake. I wiped my hands on a dish towel and texted back, "Sure, what's up?" 3 dots appeared, disappeared, then appeared again like his thumbs were fighting his brain. Finally, my phone lit up with a different notification. Incoming call from Tyler. That was when I realized this wasn't just about an awkward holiday. Something was wrong. Very wrong. And whatever it was, he'd clearly decided I was the only one he could tell. I didn't know it yet, but Thanksgiving wasn't the only thing I'd been cut out from. A story was unraveling behind my back, with me at center. Tyler didn't even say hello when I answered. His voice came through the phone tight, shaken, like he was calling from inside a confession booth instead of his apartment. "Hallie, look, I know this is weird, but something happened tonight, and I think you need to know before Thanksgiving." There are moments in life when your brain pulls a brake you didn't even know existed. This was one of them. I leaned against the counter and whispered, "Okay, what happened?" He exhaled so hard I could hear the stress, the guilt, the everything behind it. "Your parents. Avery. They've been talking about you." "They always talk about me," I joked weakly, usually followed by, "She's so sensitive," or, "I don't know why she makes everything difficult." "Anything new?" Tyler didn't laugh. Not even an accidental nose exhale. "Hallie, they said you're not invited because you embarrassed them, and because Avery doesn't feel safe around you anymore." My eyebrows shot up so fast they almost hit my hairline. "Safe? What am I, an unpredictable raccoon?" Tyler hesitated. "They said you're jealous of her and you might ruin Thanksgiving again." I laughed, not a fun laugh. A laugh that sounded like I was unraveling string with my teeth. "Wow, so I'm a public threat now? Is my wanted poster circulating?" "Hallie, listen," Tyler said, suddenly urgent. "That's not all." He paused and my heart dropped into my stomach. "Nothing good ever comes after that's not all. Your mom told Avery that you've always been unstable and that she needs to stay away from you." I blinked. Once, twice. My lungs stopped cooperating. "Unstable?" I repeated slowly. "As in mentally?" "Yes," Tyler whispered. "Your dad said you need help, and they don't want you causing a scene in front of the extended family." For a second, the room spun. Not dramatically, just enough to feel like the world tilted a few degrees off its axis. "They think I'm mentally unstable," I finally said. "No," Tyler corrected softly. "They want other people to think you are." There it was, the real blow. The betrayal with teeth. And suddenly, last Thanksgiving snapped back into focus. Not as an isolated explosion, but as the first crack in a wall they'd been desperately trying to protect. The mythology of Avery. "Why are you telling me this now?" I whispered. "Because," he said, swallowing, "I heard something else tonight, something that made me go outside and sit in my car for 30 minutes, deciding whether to call you." "Tyler," I said, pulse quickening, "just tell me." He took a deep breath. "Your parents don't want you at Thanksgiving because Avery asked them to uninvite you." It hit harder than it should have. Not because I didn't expect Avery to play victim, she was practically a professional at it, but because hearing it out loud felt like someone carved it into my ribs. "What reason did she give?" I asked. He hesitated. That was enough for me to know I wasn't going to like the answer. "She told them you've been copying her, that you're obsessed with competing with her, that you're trying to outshine her by working harder at the hospital." I let out a sharp breath. "Amazing. I work overtime to survive my medical loans, and she translates that into obsession?" "She's insecure, Hallie," Tyler said carefully. "She always has been." "No," I corrected. "She's entitled. There's a difference." Tyler didn't argue. That was surprising. Most people in my family defend Avery like she's a national treasure. Then he said the 8 words that changed everything. "She also said you don't deserve your residency spot." Silence. Thick, heavy, humiliating, infuriating. Tyler continued, voice cracking. "She told them she's the real doctor, that you're only still in the program because she vouched for you." I almost dropped the phone. What? "None of it's true," he rushed. "I've seen you work. You're better than half the people in your year. I know that. She knows that. Your parents just don't." It hurt. But what hurt worse was how familiar the pain felt. "Tyler," I said slowly, "why are you really calling? What do you want me to do with all this?" He hesitated again. "Because tonight Avery said something I can't ignore. And if I don't tell you, I'll feel like I'm helping her hurt you." My pulse rumbled like distant thunder. "What did she say?" His breath stuttered. "She said she hopes you don't show up so she can finally have a drama-free holiday and prove to the whole family that she's the daughter worth being proud of." I said nothing. Tyler continued quietly. "And then she added, Hallie's always been the disappointing one." Something inside me snapped, not loudly, but like a quiet thread holding 1,000 other threads in place. "Okay," I said, voice strangely calm. Too calm. The kind of calm that comes before a storm decides whether to destroy everything or simply wait. "Okay," Tyler repeated, confused. "Yes," I said, "because now I know exactly what she's afraid of." "What do you mean?" "She's afraid of who I've become," I said, "and what I know." Tyler exhaled shakily. "Hallie, there's more." There it was again. More, always more. "Tyler," I said, voice firm, "tell me." "Your parents aren't just uninviting you," he whispered. "They're planning something for Thanksgiving, something about you, something they don't want you to hear." My stomach dropped. "Planning what?" He swallowed hard. "I don't know the full details, but your sister said it's going to fix the Hallie problem permanently." Permanently. The word vibrated in my chest like a warning bell. "Fix me how?" I asked. Tyler's voice trembled. "Hallie, they're telling the whole family something about you. Something big." "What?" "I don't know," he whispered, "but they're calling it an intervention." My blood ran cold. Intervention for what? And why was I the last to know? And then the realization hit me like a punch I didn't see coming. If they were calling it an intervention, it meant one thing. They were trying to rewrite my life, my reputation, my sanity, and they were doing it without me in the room. But that wasn't even the worst part. The worst part was the final thing Tyler said before the line went quiet. "Hallie, they're going to announce it in front of everyone." I didn't sleep that night. Not because of fear. Fear I can handle. Fear is predictable. Fear is manageable. What kept me awake was something worse. Calculation. The knowledge that while I lay in my bed staring at the ceiling, my parents and sister were probably rehearsing a script about me. A script they'd deliver in front of a room full of relatives who already thought I was intense or emotional or not as put together as Avery. An intervention. For me. About what? I wasn't an addict. I wasn't unstable. I hadn't had any breakdown or scandal. My biggest crime in life was confronting my family's favoritism with a sentence that contained too much truth, and for that, they were planning to shatter my name like cheap glass. The sun wasn't even fully up when I sat at my kitchen table with a cold cup of coffee and a head full of questions that felt like splinter. Intervention? For what? What were they planning to claim? Tyler's voice echoed in my mind. They're going to announce it in front of everyone. My family always believed public humiliation was the most effective form of discipline. That's why they loved holidays, an audience. I took a long breath and opened my laptop. If they were going to rewrite my story, I needed to understand what pages they'd rip out first. I started listing possibilities. Hallie is depressed. Hallie is out of control. These were their greatest hits, the things they whispered about me when I left the room, thinking I couldn't hear. But an intervention? That meant something bigger, something dramatic, something that put them in the role of heroes and me in the role they wanted, the family problem. Halfway through the list, my phone buzzed. It was Tyler again. Text message this time. I didn't sleep. We need to talk again, I typed back. Call. He did. Immediately. Hallie, he said, sounding even worse than the night before. I found out a little more. Tell me. They're planning to tell everyone that you've been having issues at work. My heart slammed hard enough to make my chest hurt. Issues? Your mom said you've been breaking down during shifts, that you got written up for unprofessional behavior. My throat dried instantly. None of that ever happened. I know, Tyler said. She's lying. Avery said she doesn't want anyone to think you're dangerous, but that you need help and that the family should step in before things get worse. Dangerous? I choked. Dangerous how? I'm a doctor, not a feral wolf. I know, Hallie, I know, he said, but they're framing it like you're unraveling. I put a hand to my forehead. Something hot, ugly, and electric pulsed through my veins. So, they want everyone to believe I'm mentally unfit? Tyler hesitated. Yes. I laughed. I laughed so hard it startled him. My family? I said bitterly. My perfectly polished, reputation-obsessed family is creating a fake intervention because I said one true sentence last Thanksgiving? It's not just that, Tyler said quietly. Your mom said you're a liability. My chest tightened, not from pain, from clarity. Okay, I said, tell me everything you heard last night, every word. Don't filter. Tyler inhaled sharply. Avery told your parents she's tired of competing with you. I froze. Competing? Yes, he whispered. She said it's exhausting trying to be the better daughter when you keep outperforming her at work. That stung me. I blinked at the far wall like it suddenly grew wings. She thinks I'm outperforming her? Hallie, Tyler said softly. Avery told them she's terrified you'll take everything she believes she deserves. I sat back slowly, air leaving my lungs in pieces. It wasn't jealousy on my part. She was jealous of me. She said, Tyler continued, that it's easier for the family if they make you look unstable instead of letting people realize you're the strong one. Silence. Painful. Heavy, sharp. For years I'd carried this invisible weight, this belief that no matter what I accomplished, Avery would always be the shining star, the chosen one, the daughter worth celebrating. But now, hearing she'd been living in my shadow, terrified, that was a new kind of ache. A strange, twisted mix of heartbreak and victory I didn't know how to hold. There's something else, Tyler whispered. Always something else. What now? Avery said she wants the family to distance themselves from you in case your coworkers find out she helped fabricate stories about you. My pulse spiked. She what? She told them she doesn't want to be blamed if your program hears rumors about instability. That did it. That snapped something clean inside me. Hallie? Tyler asked. You okay? I'm great, I said, my voice steady as ice. Better than I've been in years. What are you thinking? I'm thinking, I said slowly. It's time I stopped letting them choose the narrative. Tyler exhaled. What are you going to do? Oh, Tyler, I whispered, a slow smile stretching across my face. They planned an intervention. Yes, so, I said, heart pounding with a new kind of electricity. I'm going to give them one. Hallie, no, I cut in. They want to tell the whole family who I am? Fine, but they're going to hear the truth directly from me. Tyler swallowed. You're going to show up. Not just show up, I said. I'm going to show them who the real problem has been all along. I stood, spine straightening as if a weight I'd carried since childhood finally slid off. If they want to humiliate me in front of the whole family, I said calmly, they better be ready for the part where I speak. Hallie, Tyler whispered. They don't know what's coming. Exactly, I said. And that's the beauty of it, because for the first time ever, I wasn't scared of Thanksgiving. I was looking forward to it. By the time Thanksgiving morning arrived, I wasn't nervous. I was wired, focused, energized in a way that felt almost unnatural, like my bones had finally woken up from a decade-long nap. I wasn't going to show up trembling or hurt or desperate for a seat at their table. No, sir. I was walking in with the emotional stability of a hurricane making eye contact with the coastline. My outfit said, I am calm. My hair said, I am composed. My shoes said, I wish someone would try me today. I even brought a pie. Not as a peace offering, please. I brought it so I'd have something to slice dramatically if the moment called for it. At 2:14 p.m., I pulled up to my parents' house. Cars lined the entire street. Cousins, aunts, uncles, people I forgot existed. Everyone was here. Perfect! They wanted an audience? I'd give them a show. I stepped out of my car, grabbed my pie, and walked up the driveway as if I was floating. Inside, the noise hit me. The chatter, the laughter, the clinking dishes. My mother's voice rose above everything like a soprano who always wants the final note. Everyone, gather in the living room in a few minutes. We have something important to discuss about whole... She turned as I entered. Words died in her throat. The room fell quiet. Not instantly, but in that slow, dreadful wave that happens when people realize the main character has arrived before her cue. My mom's smile glitched like a computer buffering. Oh, she said, voice tight. You're here, happy Thanksgiving, I said brightly, placing the pie on the kitchen counter. Avery stepped out from behind her, eyes widening like she'd seen a ghost she thought she'd already buried. Her boyfriend Tyler, standing near the hallway, gave me the most subtle, supportive nod in history. Then, my dad walked in from the dining room, wiping his hands on a towel. He froze when he saw me. Actually froze. I didn't know a human being could become that still. We didn't think you'd come, he said. Clearly, I replied. But since you planned a whole presentation about me, I figured I shouldn't miss it. Few cousins gasped. One aunt grabbed her husband's arm like she was watching a Bravo reunion episode. My grandmother muttered, "Finally," under her breath, which gave me the strength of 10 armies. My mom cleared her throat. Hallie, this was supposed to be an intimate conversation. Maybe we should step into the other room. No, I said softly. You wanted an audience, you invited one. Let's not waste their time. That sentence alone electrified the room. You could feel everyone lean forward internally like they'd just popped open a fresh bag of popcorn. My parents exchanged a look, the "this isn't going according to the script" look. Avery stepped forward, clearly panicked. Hallie, let's just talk calmly. Oh, I am calm, I replied with a smile. I'm calm enough to deliver a TED Talk. More whispers. Someone actually whispered, Oh my God. My mom inhaled sharply. Everyone, she began. Before things escalate, we've decided to address some concerns we've had about Hallie's behavior and… Concern? I echoed. Plural. Hallie, Dad snapped. Don't interrupt your mother. I tilted my head. Oh, you mean like how you plan to interrupt my entire life today? A louder gasp. Whoever bet money against me was losing it all. My mom tried again. We've noticed changes in your behavior. Mood swings, lashing out, saying hurtful things. And we believe it's time we… intervene, I finished. Silence. Heavy, suffocating, delicious. We called this intervention, my mom said, because we're worried you've become unpredictable. Emotionally unstable. There it was. It's a lie they'd rehearsed, the narrative they wanted to tattoo onto me. I nodded slowly. Unstable, I repeated. Right, so unstable I'm the one working 60-hour weeks at the hospital while your golden daughter here nearly got written up twice for lateness, but somehow I'm the liability? That's not true. Avery snapped, cheeks flushing. Then why did the chief resident email you last week? I asked sweetly. She froze. People in the room turned toward her. Avery's boyfriend looked down at the floor. That's private, she stammered. Unlike the intervention you planned for me, I shot back. My dad stepped forward. Enough. Hallie, you've embarrassed this family too many times. Funny, I interrupted, because the real embarrassment is the way you've painted me as mentally unstable to protect Avery's ego. My mom gasped. How dare you imply… I'm not implying anything, I said calmly. I'm stating facts. I turned to the room. Last night, Avery told my parents she's afraid of me because I keep outperforming her at work. She told them she's tired of competing with me. She told them to uninvite me so she could be the center of attention again. The room exploded with murmurs. Avery's face drained of color. Tyler, she shrieked. Did you tell her that? Tyler didn't move, didn't speak, just stared at his shoes, which was an answer. And, I continued, your loving intervention includes telling everyone here that I'm unstable at work, except I've never had a write-up or complaint. Ever. Meanwhile, Avery… Stop! Avery screamed. Her voice cracked, the room went silent. She burst into tears. Not dainty tears, ugly ones, loud ones, the ones she always saved for when she wanted attention. You're ruining everything, she sobbed. I just wanted one holiday where I'm not compared to you. One of my uncles whispered, Compared? His wife elbowed him, but it was too late. The truth was spreading through the room like wildfire. Avery, I said softly but firmly, you weren't compared to me. You compared yourself. She shook her head violently. No, Mom and Dad always say you're stronger, that you don't need as much help, that I have more potential if I just… She stopped. Everyone stared. My mother's face went white. My father's lips tightened. Avery realized she'd said too much. If you just what? I asked quietly. She broke. If you just weren't here. And just like that, every secret resentment, every whispered lie, every ugly truth detonated in the room. But the twist wasn't that she said it. The twist was that she meant it. And the bigger twist? I wasn't the only one who heard it. Because standing behind Avery, unknown to her, was the one person none of us expected to walk in at that moment. Her program director. In full view of everyone, and he heard every word. If silence had a temperature, the silence that hit that room was sub-zero. Not cold, freezing, the kind of cold that stops breath, stops conversation, stops denial. My sister didn't know her program director, Dr. Nathaniel Grant, was standing behind her. I didn't know either. No one knew. Apparently, he'd been invited by my uncle. The same uncle who idolizes successful young doctors and thought inviting Avery's program director would be the ultimate flex, except instead of finding a golden prodigy, he'd walked in right as she said the quietest, ugliest truth out loud. If you just weren't here. And the second she realized who was behind her, her face morphed from righteous fury into absolute horror. Her entire career flashed across her expression like a collapsing skyline. "Dr. Grant," she stammered, voice shaking. "This isn't... I didn't mean..." But he wasn't looking at her. He was looking at me. And not with confusion, with recognition, respect, understanding. Every emotion I'd worked years to earn at that hospital. "Dr. Reynolds," he said to me, nodding politely. "Happy Thanksgiving!" My heart nearly jumped out of my chest. "Happy Thanksgiving, Dr. Grant." The room collectively inhaled as if they'd forgotten oxygen existed. My mother stepped forward, trying to salvage control like she was patching holes in a sinking ship. Oh, Dr. Grant, we weren't expecting you quite yet." "Clearly," he said, calmly, coldly. "Factually," my father swallowed. Hard. "We were just having a family discussion." "An intervention," I corrected sweetly. "About me." Dr. Grant raised an eyebrow. "An intervention for a physician with an impeccable performance record? Interesting choice." Interesting. From him, that wasn't a comment. That was a scalpel. Avery was shaking, hands trembling so violently she had to hold onto the back of a chair. "Please," she whispered, "please understand. My sister, she's twisting everything. She's making me look..." "You don't need help with that," I said quietly. Tyler coughed into his sleeve to hide a laugh. A cousin across the room did not bother to hide hers. Avery snapped toward me. "Do you enjoy humiliating me?" "Enjoy?" I said. "No. But you've spent years humiliating me, so forgive me if I'm not sobbing right now." "I didn't humiliate you," she cried. "You did that to yourself." "No," Dr. Grant said suddenly, his tone sharpening. "She didn't." Avery froze. My parents froze. Everyone froze. "Dr. Grant," my mom began nervously, "surely you don't think Hallie..." "I think," he said with razor precision, "that your younger daughter has demonstrated more professionalism in the last 30 seconds than your older daughter has demonstrated in the last 3 months." A gasp rippled through the room like an earthquake. Avery shook her head violently. "That's not fair. She's manipulative. She's always trying to make me look bad. You don't need her help," he repeated. "Your behavior does that for you." My father stepped forward, full of false authority. "With all due respect..." Dr. Grant turned to him with a smile that did not touch his eyes. "If you had any respect, sir, you wouldn't have organized an intervention based on lies about your own daughter." Oof. My uncle actually said "damn" under his breath. My mother grabbed Avery's arm. "We are her parents." "Then start acting like it," he said. My mother recoiled like she'd been slapped. My father clenched his jaw. "You don't get to judge our parenting." "I'm not judging your parenting," Dr. Grant said calmly. "I'm observing the consequences." The room went silent, dead silent, and then he turned back to me. "Hallie, might I ask you something?" "Of course. Did you know this family intervention was about you?" "I found out last night," I said. "From someone who thought I deserved the truth." Avery's eyes shot toward Tyler like knives. "You told her?" she hissed. Tyler didn't back down. "You plan to destroy her reputation, Avery. You think that makes you the victim?" "I am the victim," she shouted. "She ruined my life!" I blinked. "I ruined your life? How?" Avery's voice cracked in a way that told the whole truth. "By being better than me, by doing everything without help, by making me look weak." "Avery," I cut in softly, "you made yourself look weak." by lying. She froze. And that's when Dr. Grant delivered the coldest, most career-defining sentence of the entire day. "Avery Reynolds," he said, "your residency review committee was already aware of concerns regarding your professionalism. Today has provided clarity." Avery's entire body swayed like a tree about to collapse. No, please, this isn't fair." She provoked me. "No," he said firmly. "You exposed yourself." My mother rushed forward. "You can't make decisions based on some family argument." "I'm not making a decision," he replied. "I'm confirming one." And then he turned to me. "Me, Dr. Hallie Reynolds, your performance has been exceptional. Your evaluations, your leadership, your conduct under pressure. It's clear who you are, and clear who you are not." My throat tightened, my chest heated, my eyes stung. Not because I was sad, but because I had never been seen so clearly in my entire life. "Thank you," I whispered. "I appreciate that." My parents looked like statues carved out of denial and fear, but Avery shattered. "This is her fault," she sobbed. "She came here to ruin me. She showed up just to—" "Stop," Dr. Grant said. "Your sister did nothing today except tell the truth. And you?" He paused, then delivered the blow. "You revealed more about yourself than any evaluation ever could." Avery sank into a chair, shaking. My mom knelt beside her. My dad stared at me with a mix of rage and disbelief, the same expression he used when I dared to be intelligent as a child. Then Dr. Grant addressed the room. "If this family insists on an intervention today, it should not be for Hallie," you could hear hearts stop. "It should be for the daughter who cannot accept responsibility, or for the parents who enabled it." My parents gasped. Avery squeezed her eyes shut. And me? I exhaled. Slowly. Deeply. For the first time, because the real intervention had finally begun. And it wasn't about me at all.